Well, good morning, everyone, and it's good to be back again. I read somewhere the other day that it's now been 50 years since we gave up on pounds and shillings and pence and entered the bold new world of decimal currency. Really, 50 years. It hardly seems possible that after all that time, I still find myself converting prices of goods in the supermarket, and I'm still shaking my head in disbelief. We had the reminder recently when Christmas puddings came to mind and thoughts of silver threepenny bits emerged. They'd long gone out of regular use, apart from puddings, of course, but they were still about, though sixpenny bits were more likely, though, to be found in puddings by then. Before the changes, we had a rich range of change in our purses and pockets. Farthings with a cheeky little wren on the reverse were 960 of them to the pound. Halfpennies at 480 to the pound, a little ship on the back, the Golden Hind, and pennies, 240 of those to a pound, and had the majestic figure of Britannia. Then there was the magnificent dodecahedron threepenny bit, 80 of those. The early ones had a representation of the thrift flower, and the later ones had a portcullis. They were substantial, chunky, and were brassy gold colour, marking a change really between the coppers and silver. The tanner, a sixpenny bit, at 40 to the pound, was always the most easily lost because it was so dainty. The most serious and utilitarian, at 20 to the pound, the shilling next, with a monarch on one side and a crest on the other. They should have had a light bulb on it, because this was the coin we needed most because they were the ones that fitted the electricity and gas meters. A request for a bob for the meter to be included in the change was often heard in a shop, and the lack of one could start a small panic. The two big boys next, the florin or 2 shilling piece, 10 of those to the pound, was an early foray into decimalisation when it was introduced and was always popular. Not as popular as a stately half crown, though. 8 to the pound and with a solid coat of arms. 5 shillings or crown coins were issued, but usually as presentation pieces, and although legal tender, few were seen in general circulation. Now, these coins were more than tokens of exchange. The history of the state can be traced through their design and markings. Obviously, the head changed when the monarch did, and if the monarch lived long enough, the relief sculpture on the head changed as well. And even into the 1970s, it was not unusual to find a Victorian bun penny dated to the 1870s. It was possible then for you a handful of change to give you the dates and regnal numbers of our monarchs. The inscriptions told the tale too. D.G. Rex, or Reg, Fid Def Indimp on the rim changed, and Indimp was dropped as our queen was no longer Empress of India. But our modern coins still proclaim, by the grace of God, Queen, Defender of the Faith, plus D.G. Reg, F.D., and that is good to see. In readiness for our new coinage, the Royal Mint was relocated to Llantrisant, and all our coins are made there. There's a visitor centre there too, and it makes for an interesting and instructive day out, to be recommended when we're allowed to go out again. These days the coins are made from base metal, but many of the silver coins were in fact silver, especially before the mid-1920s when the more hard-wearing alloys were introduced. The gold coins were of course high-grade gold. There was one casualty that I feel I must mention though, and that is the 10 bob note, which was replaced by the 7-sided 50p piece. The pound note followed it 10 years later, though it persisted in Scotland for a few more years. But our coinage was not the only thing to be decimalised. We swapped pounds for kilograms, pints, gallons and bushels for litres, and inches, feet, yards, rods, links, chains, furlongs and fathoms for the metre. But that's another story. So keep safe and keep well, and phone your friend.
Love changes everything, hands and faces, earth and sky. Love changes everything, how you live and how you die. Love can make the summer fly, or a night seem like a lifetime. Yes, love changes everything. Now I tremble at your name. Nothing in the world will ever be the same. Love changes everything. Days are longer, words mean more.
Love changes everything. Pain is deeper than before.
Love will turn your world around, and that world will last forever.
Yes, love changes everything, brings you glory, brings you shame. Nothing in the world will ever be the same.
Shaping years, love bursts in, and suddenly all our wisdom disappears.
Love makes fools of everyone.
All the rules we make are broken. Yes, love changes everyone. Live or perish in its place.